Hi, sisters. I just wanted to give on here and give you guys this quick little testimony. I talk about it a little bit in the Sermon on the Mount teaching, eye for eye teaching that I just did. But I just love how God works. When you teach something, when you learn something, he'll put you to the test, right? He'll put something in front of you or allow something to come in front of you and be like, let's see, are you learning? Are you walking the same thing out that you're teaching others to walk out? Well, today my husband was down at the local university. He goes down there and passes out tracts and talks to students. And so today he got up early and went down and he said as soon as he got there, he said, this lady come running out of one of the buildings and was like, "Who are you? What are you doing here? You can't be talking to students. This is a university." And he said, he introduced himself and said, I'm Stephen Ross. I'm from Be the Church Ministries, and we are allowed to be here. The administration, we have permission to be here from the administration, and this is the freedom of speech area. And so I'm just here talking with students and being a listening heart for them and giving them tracts and she's just like screaming. I couldn't even really understand what all she was saying because she was just like screaming at him the whole time he was talking. And she went to walk away and he just said, "God bless you, ma'am. And I just pray you have a good day." And she turned around and she's like, "F you, you mother effer." Blah, 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 blah. He said she just started like cussing him out. And then she was like, "I'm gonna pour my hot coffee on your head." he just he's like, "Okay, well, again, I just pray you have a good day." She was just so mad. She went running back into the office or the one of the buildings or whatever, and she was an older lady, and I guess she is like a staff member there, and we were just like, wow, okay. And then like a little just shortly right after that, like three cop cars came in, and they went into that building. He goes, I wonder if she called the cops on me. And here, lo and behold, she did. She like called the cops and was like, "There's this strange guy out, you know talking to students," which people go there all the time and like talk to students. It's literally the free speech center. So like you'll see different tables set up and different people and whatnot. And uh and so the cops came out and, again, he just introduced himself and just said, "Hey, I'm Steve. I'm from the ministry and this is what we do." And the cops were like, "We love what you're doing. Keep doing it." And he said, they're like, "We get phone calls from her all the time. She's our problem child." And then the one cop was like, like reading the tracts that Steve hands out, and like, he's like, "This is just so awesome. I love that you guys are up here. I've seen you guys up here before, because they'll drive through and like check on things and stuff." And he's like, "I've seen you guys up here. I've seen your tables up here and stuff." And he's like, "Do you have any Bibles with you?" And Steve goes, "Normally I do. I have our Bibles with us, but he just ran up there for a little bit to pass out tracts and talk to students. So he didn't bring like all of our table and all of our pamphlets, and we have all kinds of books and stuff that we have." And he goes, "I don't have them with me. I have some in the car though." And they're like, "No, just next time you come up, bring some Bibles." And they're like, "I would like to have some of your Bibles to pass out as well." Cause he goes around and passes out Bibles as a cop in the area to the students. And I was like, that is so cool. And it was just such a beautiful testimony of like the part where Steve was teaching us on Friday night about turn the other cheek. Like when somebody smacks you in the cheek, give them the other cheek. And we talked about how that's more of a metaphor than it is like physical, that it's really when someone is dishonoring you or they're, exactly what this lady was doing, like cussing him out, screaming at him, just, couldn't even get a word in edgewise. She was so angry that he was there, just passing out tracts and talking to the kids about Jesus. But when you have somebody like that, that's clearly an enemy of you, and they're coming at you and they're disrespecting you and they're threatening to throw coffee on you, like you just love them in return. You give them a blessing in return. And that is what Jesus was talking about, that we don't return a harsh word for a harsh word or revile for revile, that we, you know, understand that they are sinners doing what sinners do, and that, you are going to go through persecution. You're going to be dishonored at times. Your ego, your pride, all those things are going to sometimes be challenged, and we have to be above reproach and just continue to love them and be that shining light before them and not to engage back. And so I just thought, wow, on the very day that I'm taking the teachings that he taught on Friday and bringing them to my podcast for you guys, he calls me literally. I'm telling you, like the second before I almost pushed play, when I was getting ready to start teaching on that particular passage from the Sermon on the Mount, he called me. So I answered his call real quick, and he told me like, "This is what just happened," and I was like, "That's just so cool," like, wow, God, like, thank you that he passed that test, and that we're not just preaching something, we're not just teaching something, but we're practicing it as well, and we're given opportunities to practice what we preach, which is so important. And just really seeing the word come alive in that way. So I just thought I'd give you guys that little testimony. I just thought that was really awesome. And we do come across things like that going to the universities. We come across way more better, beautiful testimonies and great things that God's doing, but we do still get some of that kind of stuff as well, obviously, when you're out giving Jesus, and it can be, the truth is very offensive to some. So be praying for her. I don't know her name, I don't know anything about her, but just pray for her that, that someday God will allow us to be able to just minister to her, and show her the love of Jesus, and that she would become born again and be out there passing out tracts with us. Come on, catch that. That'd be beautiful. Could you imagine that testimony? Anyways, God bless you, sisters. Turn the other cheek, practice what you preach, and just don't let your egos and your pride and the dishonoring that may go on, just continue to love the hell out of people. We say that all the time, love the hell out of them. That means love the sin out of them, love the darkness, the trauma, the inner turmoil and hell that they're going through. Let us love that out of them. God bless you guys. Have a great day.